finds himself getting passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on. So Newhoff in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. He doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Haig deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
I would say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the loud pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down it towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed Morton forward up ahead. He's got out of line. It's now Pike going to have a go at Werrell. Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's come back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such trouble. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden Miller's back in play.
Moving on to the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's a lot have fun. Yeah, and
It's all about the entertainment, so I hope
everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is been enjoying himself watching the Burger King machines off into the grass a little bit there as they're really bunching up now.
coming down. Does he have it? Medeiros is going to get it. Oh, look at the toss. Haven't got it.
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such trouble. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry. Good evening and welcome to the SRL TCR League Season 6 final round live from Knockhill Reverse. I am James Parfitt and I'm going to be joined in the booth for the man who has joined me all season, Mr. Zach Sweeney here. We are here for the SRL TCR final league race ever at Knockhill Reverse, and I'm going to bring Zach in straight away here as well before we go into the standings. It's been a great season, and it's going to be sad to see the end of the league, Zach, I think.
Well, it's not the end. It's more the end of a chapter, I suppose. It's, close the book on SRL, and it's born anew a couple of weeks after. So, yeah, we're saying goodbye, obviously, to SRL, but obviously the league itself, the fundamentals of it, the core of it will continue on. So, yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward, obviously, to seeing how things continue with this league, but let's not focus on that just yet. That's in the future. What we've got right now is to close off the SRL chapter with the final championship finale that we're ever going to see with SRL, and as it stands, it looks fairly comfortable for Gary Craig in the pros.
It does. Gary Craig is out in front from Matt Elmore and Jono Johnson. Now, Gary needs to have a complete and utter disaster of an evening to even remotely get caught here, Zach, doesn't he? He needs basically he needs to not finish race 1 and not finish race 2, and Matt Elmore and Jono Johnson have at least got to try and take wins.
Yeah, so for a win, obviously it's one continuous standing for the whole race. It's not pros and it's not AM separately. So first place is a 50 points to your total. So if Gary Craig was to retire and either Matt Elmore or Jono Johnson were to win, they would then take the championship. Or the championship lead if it was in race 1, and then obviously in race 2 subsequently after that. But a 32-point lead is a huge margin to have. I mean, 32 points gets you a ninth place finish. So yeah, Gary Craig I think is fairly secure, seeing as we've only got 16 drivers taking to that. So yeah, Gary Craig I think will take this, and to be fair, very well done to him because he's had a really good season. And nobody's not been the most aggressive, but he's been the most consistent.
It definitely is. Now, in the AMs, Fraser Garrity is out in front by 6 points with Derek Crowther and Russell Fowler. Now, it's quite interesting here with this one. If Fraser Garrity wins the AM section, Ryan Dudley then has to win in the reverse. Now, don't forget, we've got a top 15 reverse for race 2. But it's going to be doing some maths, I think. I think we're going to have some maths to do here, Zach, by the end of this, because I think this championship could go right down to the wire.
Oh, it could, absolutely. In the AMs, obviously, with it being one continuous point score, things get shaken up a little bit, because if you can benefit off a reverse grid as an AM, you can actually score yourself some decent points relative to your rivals. So 6 points is definitely not a huge margin between the top two. Derek Crowther as well, a bit of an outside shot being 20 points back, but again, never say never. If he can take an overall win, that's going to be huge gains.
Yeah.
So for sure, yeah, I think we're in for a good one, and the championships are wide open. So yeah, looking forward to settling who's going to be the final Pro-Am champion of SRL.
Yeah, but we are going into the qualifying session, and we will be up and running shortly. Mr. Dangle in YouTube chat, come on, Dudley, and Fraser Garrity, no pressure. Well, you're the one driving, mate. You're the one leading the championship. That's not on me and Zach, I feel. Here, to be honest, it's all on you to go out and win it, Fraser. I'm sorry, it's not, I haven't got any pressure. Zach, you got any pressure? You good? You feeling good?
Apart from my job, I think I'm all right. No.
Good.
No, I'm good. No, I'm not driving, so
No, me neither.
not my problem.
No, so we'll have to see. Sorry, Fraser, but it's all down to you and see what you can do here as well and see if you can take home the AM Championship. As I say, we are going into qualifying right about now. And then we will be up and running for this, and we'll see how these all get on here with Dan Mould as well. I'm not entirely sure what's happened all of a sudden to the overlay, apart from the fact it's gone a little bit wonky donkey here. Come on. No, you're not going to work, are you? Wonderful. Right. You talk for a minute, Zach, while I...
Oh, of course. Yeah, you have a little fidget with your technology. And I'll try and keep these guys entertained. So, obviously, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the SRL TV and the JP Broadcasting YouTube channels, respectfully. Obviously, keep us indulged. Give us your thoughts, your feelings, your queries, your questions, whatever comes to mind. Me and James don't bite. I especially, because James spoke to me about it specifically and said I'm not allowed to. So I won't. Unless you're Phil, I'm allowed to bite Phil. I've got special clearance for Phil because it's Phil. But yeah, into qualifying right now, and with it being only a 50-second lap time, as we saw in practice, it's going to be a very, very tight one. And because, well, Knockhill's a short circuit, there's not many corners, there's not many times to gain time. So it's going to be quite a close shootout for pole position, which just ramps up that pressure ever so slightly more. And track position itself, actually, not only getting that track position, but keeping it in the race is going to be a very, very important thing, because you're really limited in your overtaking opportunities around Knockhill normally, let alone when it's reversed, I have to say. First ever time I've seen it reversed. Not complaining, I think it's a great circuit. Very interesting on the way backwards. The only major overtaking opportunity that you get, James, is that run into the hairpin, because everywhere else is either blind, fast, or stupid to go for a move. So the only place realistically is the hairpin.
I don't know about stupid. I think brave would have been a better word, maybe.
Where's the line, really? Brave, stupid?
Well, there's a big one between brave and stupid. But yeah, I think it is going to have to get the run out of the last corner to basically be able to go down into turn one. Of course, turn one is now this sharp hairpin that Dan Mould is just coming into now. Arthur Ferdle pots it on pole on 51.8. That's the hairpin we're talking about. That's where probably most of the moves are going to make. Unless you can get a good run here down into turn three, I think you'll be brave. I think you're going to be brave to have a go, but I think it's going to be possible, but you've got to be committed and it's got to be facilitated. If it isn't facilitated, it's all going to go wrong. So, yeah, I think there's a couple of plays. The main one will be down into the hairpin, turn three possibly. As for the rest of the circuit, definite no-go, because you can see the way they're going through the chicane now downhill. It's almost like they're taking off here. So, yeah, that would just be crazy to have a go down there. Oh, you missed out. Look, I have just, Phil, I've just sharpened my teeth to bite back. I was going to let you have a free night, but all bets are off now. Oh dear, you've upset him. Well done. We're not even started.
I know, we haven't. Hang on, when did we go live? Let me see. Precisely
15 minutes.
Well, that's the broadcast live. When have we been speaking? 7.5 minutes we've been live.
And already you've upset him.
Already I've upset him. It reminds me of the scene in the Hunger Games where the person sharpened her teeth. I can just imagine that being Phil right now. Yeah, I don't know. He's a very peculiar lad, but I don't know.
There is a I've got a story about that, but that's one for the green room, I think. I don't think we need to have that conversation now. But Derek Crowther is leading the AMs, which is important, with Fraser Garrity in 4th. Matt Elmore is not doing so well, currently down in 10th. Alan McCain 14th, and Ryan and Jay Corley down in 16th here. So Corley is obviously having a little bit of a struggle, but he's going to be doing his lap as well. Kev Eilert, Corley does bounce up into 11th. Kev Eilert's in 14th at the moment. So we'll have to see how he gets on as he's coming round for the last part of his lap as well. That jump out of that chicane, man, boy oh boy, have you got to be brave.
Oh, you do. I mean, we were riding on board with people in practice and thinking, hang on, that's actually a thing. So people obviously going for the jump. It's going to be obviously you're brave going for it full stop, because you've got to have that flat out mindset of just keeping your foot planted in order to extract the most lap time. But also you are sort of riding on the fact that the car's going to be stable when you take off and when you land again. Quite a good opportunity for the suspension to rebound back up and destabilize the car. So you have got to be really, really careful going through that. And of course it's blind, so if you follow another car and you can't see past the apex, you never really know what's going to happen. And because you're going into it flat out, you've got no chance to react. Also with that, the fact that your tyres aren't always in contact with the ground either, so you again don't really have the capacity to react. So yeah, a very, very difficult corner, it must be said. It's difficult going up as well as going down. I'd argue probably the same either way. They've both got their challenges.
Yeah, they definitely have. So let's see how all the cars get on here as well, as we jump on with Chris Barnes, who is in the Audi. So we'll see how Chris gets on as well. He's only just started his qualifying session, but at 51 second lap, so he's going to have more than enough time to have a go here and see how it works out for him and where he puts that car onto the grid, and whether or not, nope, that's going to be an on-off track. So you're going to have to kind of go a little bit different to that one, young sir, because we'll have to see how he goes on. I don't think Chris Barnes has quite managed that chicane as it should do.
No, that's one of the ways not to do it. So don't do what Chris Barnes just did. Do it better. Do it like Dan Mould might have done, as he sets the benchmark of the provisional pole time with a 51.435. A really nice lap time, in all fairness to him. But Arthur Vettel only a fraction of a second behind that. Gary Craig, though, still putting in a good lap time, albeit a 10th and a half off, which at a 50-second lap around Spa, 10th and a half, great. Really close. Around a 50-second lap, a 10th and a half. That relatively to Knockhill, that is a huge gap to have.
Yeah, it definitely is, of course, as well. Only 16 drivers. Was there more? There was more, but as the season's gone on, obviously drop-offs happened, and as I say, this is the final one of SRL. So the actual, it's obviously moving over JPB after this last race here, and in 2 weeks' time we go again on the 4th of August for this 6-race season at all British tracks as well. So if you want to get yourselves involved, you can jump down into the JPB League's Discord and you can have a look there as well. I've just realised this is backwards. It is, yeah, it is. They are going backwards. It's the reverse. I've never done this layout before. I've never broadcasted this way, and to be honest, it seems a little bit weird, because it's going on an anti-clockwise circuit, which you don't see very often. So when I look at the track map and I see them going the wrong way, I'm a bit like, hold on, where are they going? It takes a few seconds to realise that we're actually on the reverse circuit.
It's unnatural.
Yeah.
You've done a circuit that way for so long, to then just go the other way around, because it's like, it's the same circuit. It's the same circuit, same corners, you know them, but doing them backwards, they're completely different. Obviously, the way the radiuses and things, or radii, sorry, tighten and the angles open and close depending on whether you're corner entry or corner exit, it changed the dynamics of the corner completely differently. So some corners, you're going the quote-unquote normal way, the forwards way, would be, say, wide going in, tight coming out. But then going backwards, it's tight going in, wide coming out. And it's a really difficult concept to get your mind readjusted to. It's essentially, the best way to do it is essentially treat it as a new circuit. Forget that you even know it, right? Knockhill, who cares? You're now learning reverse Knockhill, because otherwise you're not going to get your head around the fact that these are different corners that you have to learn. So different. It's different. I like it. I like the concept of doing tracks backwards, because I remember that's all I used to do on F121. I'd go into time trial, flip the car around and race around backwards, because it's a lot of fun. It's just really unnatural.
Yeah, it definitely is, and it does feel a little bit weird here as well. I'm not going to lie, because at the end of the day, we've got everybody going the wrong way. So we are just waiting for the results to come up of qualifying. We have all done there as well. I see Jamie and Zach are having a little bit of fun in YouTube chat, but let's bring you up the grid here as well. Dan Mould takes pole, Arthur Ferdle in second, Gary Craig third, Jono Johnson fourth, Fraser Alexander fifth, Matt Elmore sixth, John Brown seventh. Then we have Derek Crowther leading the AMs, Russell Fowler, Jess Rakowski, Kev Eilert, Jay Corley behind that as well. Fraser Garrity down in 13th with Ryan Dudley, Alan McCain, Dan Lewis and Chris Barnes. Currently at the moment here, Zach, old Derek Crowther is shining quite brightly at the moment because he's sitting above both of the rivals in the standings.
He's doing a really good job, and he could very easily get above some of the pros and get more points. So Ryan Dudley down in 14th, and then Fraser Garrity is 13th. Yeah, huge points already. If it stays as it is, 33 to 28. So already a 5-point gain in one race, and then you've got the reverse grid race that he might be able to bag some more points in. Yeah, looking good for Derek Crowther. The pace is definitely there.
Well, we're going to find out how long the pace will last for as we're doing this wonderful Knockhill circuit backwards here, which is going to feels so bizarre, but there you go. We are going to do it. We are going to go on it. We have got 20 minutes. We are got the lights. We're going to go now. We have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we are green, up and underway here. Arthur Ferdle runs out and blocks off Gary Craig there. Jono Johnson trying to run on the outside of Craig, but it is Dan Mould in front here as well. Free wide going into the first corner. That's not going to work. Did it actually work? It did. These guys managed it free wide and did an absolutely stellar job, but it is Dan Mould in front. Gary Craig, Arthur Ferdle, Jono Johnson in the AMs. Russell Fowler has jumped Deck Crowther with Jess Rakowski right behind him currently at the moment as well. No real dramas at the moment there, Zach. Everybody's made it through the first few corners.
Yeah, everyone all in one piece, which is a great start to a race. Obviously, making sure you're not binning it, but a couple of people aren't going to be too happy with their progress. Arthur Ferdle, Derek Crowther, Kev Eilert and Daniel Lewis, all of those drivers that lost position on lap 1, and with it being such a difficult track to overtake, losing that position on lap 1 will cost you in the grand scheme of things, because it's going to be harder for you to get it back, and then subsequently even harder for you to make any progress forwards. But we tick off one lap, and Dan Mould firmly in the lead.
Yeah, Ryan Dudley's in the pits. Dudley is in the pits here. I'm wondering if he's had some troubles or if he jumped the start at the beginning, because he is in the pits already. Gary Craig, Arthur Ferdle running side by side currently at the moment as they go racing down into turn 3. Craig comes through on top. Jono Johnson's getting himself locked up behind Ferdle at the moment into turn 4. The left-right chicane, 4 and 5. Over they go. Look at the way they're going through that. How are they not getting off tracks or not getting slowdowns during that period, because they're not even making, some of them aren't even making the full apex exit?
Well, it depends obviously what iRacing deem the exit to be, and maybe with it being reversed it's kind of out of whack ever so slightly, so not entirely sure, but they won't get away with it for long. Maybe if they continue to do it, they might just overstep the mark. Good thing about Knockhill is that you can't really extend the track and gain an advantage, because you've got track, curb, grass, barrier, right? So if you do gain, not only are you going to get an off track, you're probably going to slow yourself down as well, beyond the curbs, but you've got to use all the track, whether the game deems it as the white line or the grass is being off the track, who knows. But yeah, so just be careful, be mindful. I think the only discourager of cutting the track are those massive sausage curbs on the inside, but fortunately I think these touring cars are stable enough to be able to take the brunt of them.
Yeah, I think you've got to be right here. John Brown is right up behind Matt Elmore at the moment, of course. Brown pulls out, he goes back in once more. Ryan Dudley's already a lap down currently. Fraser Garrity sitting in 4th place, chasing down Rakowski with Crowther, who is still behind Fowler at the moment, but Dudley is not looking good, down in 17th place at the moment for him. So he's only going to score 24 points, and that's looking like he's going to get his his full total here, so he bumps up onto 274 already. Well, I'll try and do the maths on the others as we go along here, but Fraser Garrity needs to clear Rakowski if he can. Going down into turn 4, through 5 of that run up into 5, 6 and 7. Sorry, I'm trying to work out the numbers in reverse here, and he's trying to have a go once more, but he's got to do it. If he's going to do it anyway, Zach, he's got to do it surely down into turn 1.
Track numbers on a reverse grid is probably just this one, that one, left and right, I think is probably the best way to go about it, rather than trying to get your head in a muddle. Fraser Garrity, though, trying to find a way past Rakowski. No way through as it stands, as they run their way through what is now turn 1. Again, confusing, lovely. But we're in Scotland, so is anything ever normal? I don't know. Fraser Garrity, though, trying to find a way past, and should be very important for his championship. Good thing is, though, is that Derek Crowther is only 2 places ahead, which won't be massive in terms of points.
Definitely. Dan Mould still out in front, but he has got Gary Craig closing in currently at the moment as they're going round turn 7, up through 8, dropping now into the left-hander of 9. The last corner on this circuit, Gary Craig is going to be tucked up right behind him at the moment here as well. For Gary Craig, he's got to try and get this victory. He doesn't need the victory, Zach, but he wants to get it. He's going to go and try and dive now. Dan Mould cuts his nose off going into turn 1, and they run off again round the right-hander of 2 here. He doesn't need the victory. He's just got to drive to the point of where he doesn't jeopardise his race, hasn't he? Surely that's all he needs.
Yeah, but, I mean, the best way to win a championship is to win the race as well. Obviously, priority is championship, of course. That goes without saying. But I think Gary Craig, because he knows he's got such a big buffer that he's not really going to throw it away in one race, he can push the limit ever so slightly. And if he steals this victory here, it's a done deal. He's got to be champion. There's no two ways about it. Unless things go drastically wrong, but they won't. They probably won't, because I doubt he's going to have it'll have to be a 50-point margin going into race 2. But well, as it stands to Dan Mould and to the rest of them, it'll be a fairly sizable gap anyway. So I think for Gary Craig, it is just going to be a case of go out there and finish as high as you can, because he can. He's in a position that he's not. Oh, if I lose 1 place, then I lose 2 points, which is just going to be enough for him to tip it and get it on countback. Nah. 32-point lead, mate. Who even are you?
Wow. Who are you?
Easy.
Who are you? Who are you? You sound like Delia, whatever her name is, up in Norwich. Where are ya? She was going in the middle of the pitch on the microphone, probably before your time, I think. I think it was Delia, what's the woman cook name? Delia Smith. Yeah, Delia Smith. Look it up, Delia Smith's rant at Norwich. It was quite interesting, I'm not going to lie. But back to the racing, we've got Dan Mould, Gary Craig, Arthur Ferdle, all battling out. Jono Johnson behind that as well. What's happening down in the AMS? Rakowski still hanging on in front of Fraser Garrity. Garrity cannot get past Rakowski here. Both near enough around about the same times, 52.21, 52.27 in favour of Garrity. But back up front, it's still Craig, it's still Ferdle, it's still Johnson, and it is still Mould leading the way here for this Knockhill reverse. Through 4, through 5, coming up through 6, then into 7 they go. I've got the numbers right this time. 7, then they're going to go around the right-hander of 8 up the hill into 9, the final corner, and we've still got 13 minutes to go, and they're on lap 8 already. They've been going around for ages.
They have. Well, 8 minutes, nearly, to be precise, because it's about a minute a lap, so it's quite linear.
Oh, Rakowski's off.
No.
Rakowski's off. What did she do here? Oh. And hitting the wall sideways as well. Never a good feat there for Jess Rakowski. That's going to be into the pits. It is into the pits. Dan Mould still hanging on in front. No, he's still managing to survive at the moment, but is he going to survive much longer? Gary Craig through the left-hander of turn 7, up into turn 8 they go now. The right-hander, then the left into 9. Then we're running off once more down this straight. This has got to be his opportunity, Zach. He's surely got to have a go now.
I'd assume so. He's got to be late on the brakes, though, and Gary Craig doesn't really want to throw anything away, but he is going to go to the left-hand side. Late on the brakes into turn number 1. Dan Mould's going to try and fight it the long way round, but gets etched out now. Tries to go for the up and under. 3 wide on the exit of turn 1.
Yeah, they are at the moment. They've got Craig on the left, Mould on the right. Of course, Mould's going to have the inside for turn 3 as they go on that long run round 2 now. Mould's not giving it up. He's not letting it go. Craig cannot afford to get into anything here as well. He needs to just finish the race. Finish the race. Him and Farrell side by side. Farrell's gone. Farrell's gone. Exit road left for Arthur Ferdle. One of the boys behind as well, John Brown.
Oh!
John Brown! What did you do? Whatever you did, he nearly sent it up into space. Oh, he hit like a bump.
Bang. Oh, wow. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. I don't know if that's sad or impressive. One of the two. That does not look like a fun car to drive.
No, it definitely doesn't there for John Brown. That was out of turn 5. That was just absolutely mental. He hit the first one fine, and then he almost dug in on the second one and then shot the car off into the opposite direction. But Farrell as well, taking the same bit of grass, but he went too wide into the turns 4 and 5, and that was never going to work either with Gary Craig. So for Craig's point of view, he's still managing to hold on to second. That's great, amazing, well done for you, sir. But running too wide by Arthur Ferdle into turn 4 and 5, I'm surprised he even went there.
Oh, wow, that is weird. But I suppose it's what we expected at that jump point, because the car's unsettled, bish bash bosh. There's nothing you can do. He was a passenger.
Yeah, but it dug in, I think. For who are we talking about, Ferdle or Brown?
Brown.
Yeah, it dug in, didn't it? It looked like it dug in. That was the weirdest thing. I don't think I've seen a car do that for a very long time. It looked like as it went over. Oh no, it's a little bit further back than that one. But if you have a look, when he goes up there, and then it kind of digs in a little bit and then shoots him off. It was the most bizarre incident, I'm not going to lie.
There's a bit of a bump there before he hit the wall, which is what lifted the rear end up and sort of sent him into the nosedive into the barrier. With that initial jump, downhill, weight's gone to the front, nothing on the rear. As it lands, whoop, and slide, and then bump, and then nosedive. Yeah, wasn't great, and not the way that Brown would have wanted to have his final race one of the season. Arthur Ferdle, though, has sort of got himself back going again, which is a good thing because he's trying to maximise as many points as he can. He's in 5th, and on the back, Fraser Alexander. However, this all gets flipped on its head in about 9 minutes' time when we go for race 2 on the reverse grid. So, still good points on offer for even those that have had a poor race.
Yeah, well, John Brown will end up being on pole here for this top 15 reverse. So, you know, a stellar job from him. One of the things I do want to pick up on is obviously with the exit of Rakowski, Alexander is now, Garrity, sorry, is now only 1 point behind Crowther. So Crowther's sitting in 8th at the moment. So currently in 8th, he will score 33. And obviously Garrity being down in 9th will score 32. So not a massive gap from them guys.
No. So I still think enough for Garrity to hold on. Obviously the gap to Ryan Dudley is 6. Dudley is last, so Derek Crowther would then be 20 points back, and the gap would then close to 19. Oh no, 19 points going into one race. Unless Crowther wins, I don't really see that happening. Even then, Garrity is going to have to finish 11th, yeah, to get the win sealed. So yeah, Garrity, like Gary Craig, I think has got this one in the bag.
Yeah, I think he is currently at the moment. Where is he at the moment? He's in 9th, so he'll score 32. That will put him on 288 here. Crowther went into today on 236. He's up in 8th place, just. And he will score 33, so that will put him on 269. So we'll have 288, 274 and 269 going into the final race here, unless Garrity can jump Crowther, of course, coming up into turn 4 and 5. I would like to point out, though, just really quickly, one of the things I have noticed is turn 5 on the normal as well as it is on the reverse, just to let you know.
So it's a 10 corner track.
No, it's only 9, but they've got turn 1 is where they're going down to. Look, I'll guide you through it. Look, so turn 1 now, down through the left-hander, right? And then what they're going to do now is they're going to go down here, all the way around turn 2, which is this long right-hander. And then they're going to go free at the bottom, which is this left-hander. And then they'll go to the left for 4, the right for 5. Okay, so that's 4, 5, up into 6. And then the left is 7. And then 8 is the uphill. And then 9. Now, if you bring that back the other way, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 5's in exactly the same place.
Oh, yeah, because it's an odd.
Yeah.
So it will have a centre.
Yeah.
No, fair enough. This fight's been all lap long as well, with Arthur Furtle trying to find a way past. He was on the inside this time last lap. This time he's now on the outside. The up and under does work quite well because of the camber on the inside, but he's going to try and go the long way round, keep his foot in. It's given a caravan's worth of space on the outside by Alexander. But Furtle's still unable to find a way through. Turn 5, turn 4, turn 3, wherever it is, he's can't find a way through at the moment.
No, definitely can't. And we're going down through 3 at the moment. And then we're going to come left and right for 4 on the exit for 5. Now over the curb we've seen that cause a problem already. Garrity is still behind Crowther by about half a second at the moment here. The biggest gainer so far was Alan McCain. He was up 5, but he's now up 4 after losing a place to Jay Corley. So McCain is now up 4 with Garrity here as well. Furtle's going to go on the left-hand side. He's going to try and now take the inside position away from Alexander. He does manage to do that. Can he get the exit speed out though? Alexander on the right in that number 9. Furtle on the right in the 74, of course, in that commemorative livery. I believe it was for his granddad's car or his dad's car, and he now takes that place back. So Furtle is now up into 4th place here, doing an excellent, stellar job. Garrity and Crowther still battling it out further down. The gap between the two is nothing. The points difference is only 1, but we think there's almost going to be 19 points between them going into the final race.
Yeah, well, at the moment there's 20 between them, and then the 1 point gain, 20 minus 1, surprisingly is 19. So,
I do like your maths. I tell you what,
thank you.
Tell you went to school. Even out, you've just taken your shoes and socks off.
That's my A star in maths and GCSE level. That is 20 minus 1. 20 minus 1 is 19, James.
It is, apparently.
Yeah.
Amazing how many children don't know that though.
That's true.
Trust me, I worked in a school. I'm aware. So you know what I mean. But it's yeah, they're only little. They progress as they go on. They get it right. I'm sure they do here as well. If I ask my 6-year-old, she'll tell me what the answer is because she's quite a little clever spark. Is me little lady. But there we go, up and running, back up onto the racing anyway. Don't want to know enough about my family life here as well. Corley's having a nice little battle with Barnesy and Eilert. Oh, okay, just as I say that, I think that's actually John Brown behind him currently at the moment. So Corley does go off track, and that is John Brown with Eilert in front. All of these gaps are round about the same here, so pick a battle and I'll have a look, because they're all round about 2 to 3 tenths, apart from this one that's just dropped out to half a second. Crowther's still managing to hang on to Garrity in the arms here once more and doing an absolutely incredible job with Fraser Garrity. Mould still out in front. Mould now about 1.3 seconds. Craig's kind of doing what he needs to do, doesn't he? He now just needs to settle in and finish off the last 2.5 minutes here.
Yeah, I think just get it home really is the most important thing. Don't do anything crazy. Just get it home. Don't throw anything away. However, flash the headlights, trying to throw him off a little bit, I think, in the Fraser Garrity in the Honda Civic. No, I had a moment. It's because, right, no, listen, because they're both H's. I was thinking, wait, is that Hyundai, is that Honda? It took me a second, because I forgot who I was looking at. I was like, hang on, who's who? It's fine, because Garrity's in the Honda, and Crowther's in the Hyundai, so we're good, we're fine.
And one's an Elantra and one's a Civic. You know what I mean?
That's true, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's fine. Crowther with the bright orange bonnet didn't kick it in there here as well, and obviously the Hyundai sign on the grate. Never mind. Yeah. We all have our moments, Zach, as well. I think Arthur is slacking, been focused on tennis. Well, possibly. He's been hitting his little balls over the net, he has, bless him, as well. So he's been doing rather well at his tennis, is Mr. Fertile. But Crowther still leading by Garrity here as well. I would say we're on the final lap, but we're not, because even with 1 minute 40 here, we've still got about another 2 laps to go. So we'll be on the final lap next time around. I'm probably round about guessing here, because I think they crossed the line at about 45. Garrity runs a little bit wide coming out the final corner, and that's going to jeopardise him going down into turn 1 here. I don't think he's going to be able to get this one now. I want to have a look at this battle here with Corley and Eilert, and that is John Brown behind him, who's just obviously a lap down currently at the moment. Corley goes on the defensive. I'm not really sure why on that one, because Sid and Brown's a back marker. I don't think Brown's going to get himself involved, even if he wanted to here. But it is Corley battling with Eilert once more, and they're flying off currently at the moment round the fire, round turn 3, dropping down, turn 2, dropping down into 3, and Corley and Eilert still fighting it out as they're proceeding on. The leader has gone over the line on about 54 seconds. I've got a funny feeling we're going to see one more here, Zach.
I think we might do, actually. It's going to be quite close. Dan Mold hasn't got the gap to lift off and not take an extra lap, so we'll see where Barney is. And yeah, he's nowhere near, so no, we'll be fine. We're on to the penultimate lap now, which will make this what will it be? The 23rd lap by the time we get there.
24 laps altogether. So yeah, they've done an absolutely incredible job. Of course, that still hanging on with Alexander behind him. Garrity and Crowther still battling it out here for 8th. Ooh. That could have been a John Brown moment there for Arthur Fertile. That double skip of that Hyundai, that could have put him off into a John Brown situation.
It could have. And I love how we've coined it as the John Brown. Oh, wow. That's the John Brown if I've ever seen one. I don't know.
That sounds good, man. I like it. Oh, we are on the last lap now. Yeah, we are, because with Dan Mould, I forgot, I thought these two were out in front of me.
We all have our moments, James.
Yeah, we do. Not going to lie. Dan Mould is out in front as he's coming around turn 3. I'm going to have to keep an eye on him, because these laps go past by. Oh, dearie me.
We all have our moments, James.
They go fast, thick and fast. Right, I'm stopping talking. Here goes Dan Mould. He's going off that run round turn 7 into 8. He's going to go and he's going to take the victory here. Gary Craig will come over in 2nd with Jono Johnson in 3rd, but Dan Mould does take the win in race 1 of the final race of the SRL here. In the AMs though, it's going to be Russell Fowler, I believe, unless something manic happens going up through 8 and into 9. Russell Fowler with Crowther and Garrity behind him, as these guys are going to come over the line as well. Stellar job from all of these guys. And well, I make it now Dudley on 274, Garrity on 288 and Crowther on 269. Do we match up, young sir?
Well, I've not been doing it by total points. I've just been taking the gap and then the gaps in the points they score, because that's just easier for me to compute it. So with it being a 20-point gap between Garrity and Crowther, and then they being 1 point apart in the race, I just see it as a 19-point gap. I don't see it as 2 blah 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 blah. Yeah. So,
Okie dokie. Well,
sorry about that.
That's all right. Dan Mould is your winner with Gary Craig 2nd, Jono Johnson 3rd. So it's 1, 2, 3 in the pros. Fertile in 4th, Alexander in 5th, Elmore in 6th. And in the AMs, it's Russell Fowler, Derek Crowther, Fraser Garrity, Alan McCain in 10th, Kev Eilert 11th, Jay Corley in 12th, Chris Barnes, Daniel Lewis, John Brown, Jess Rakowski and Ryan Dudley all are a lap down here as well. And at the back end of these results, we are going into a brief little 5 minutes of warm-up. So there we go. If you want to get a quick drink, go and do that right about now, because you won't get much time after this. Steve Howard, gutted, couldn't make the last race. Yeah, shame there, mate. But we, it'll be okay. We're back anyway in 2 weeks' time over on the JBB Discord, so if you want to get yourself involved, go and join the JPB Leagues Discord down there as well for a 6-race calendar on some of Britain's most famous TCR circuits. And we did confirm the other day the actual full calendar and the track layouts as well. So we will be heading to Silverstone International Circuit on the 4th of August. Then we're going to the Donington National on the 11th, Knockhill International on the 18th, Snetterton 300 Circuit, Alton Park Island Circuit on the 1st of September, and then the 8th we're going to Brands Hatch GP Circuit. So you can get yourself involved over at www.jppbroadcasting.com/TCR-League if you want to go and have a look and get yourself involved in that one, because we will be back in 2 weeks' time and places are filling up fast. So yeah, if you want to get involved, please go and do so, because it will be absolutely amazing.
Nice.
Yeah. Thanks.
Good bit of advertising there. Nice.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah,
it's nice.
Yeah, you're back with me, aren't you, on that season?
I am.
There you go.
I'll be with you. So, can't wait for that. And to my knowledge, we don't have to wait 2 weeks for each one, do we? We just
No, it's week after week. One after the other. Every Friday.
Let's wait between each race. Beautiful. Lovely jubbly.
And then we'll be back with the following season once we've got them all sorted out. So there you go.
Perfect.
I know.
So what have we got? We've got Clios, GT4s.
GT4s and TCRs at the moment.
Nice little starters on the ladder, innit? The Clios, then the GT4s, and then TCRs. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
And then we're looking at a GT3. Not quite sure where we're going to put it yet, but we're looking at a GT3 league as well. So that will be quite an interesting one to get your head round. But we are... there's a lot going on. Within JPB at the moment.
Should do an endurance race where you combine all three. Have the Clios, have the GT4s, and have the touring cars.
See, now that has been mentioned. I'm not going to lie, it has been mentioned already about that. So, yeah, it has been mentioned to us that GT3s and that as well, because, yeah, why not? But we'll see. We'll see what the plans are currently at the moment as well. I'm having a chat with the admins at some point next week to discuss next season. So there you go. Hope you mean you didn't get rid of Zach. No, I didn't get rid of Zach. He's back. I invited him back.
He invited me, by the way. I didn't say, oh, James, can I do SRL? And James was just like, oh, well, not SRL, JPB TCR, sorry. And he was like, oh, yeah, oh, well, yeah, go on then. Nah, it was, you coming back? I was like, yeah, all right, I will. Cool. Yeah.
There you go.
I was invited.
Yeah, you were.
Have that.
You don't have to be if you feel you don't want to.
No.
All right, okay, just checking.
I've got Just Eat orders to pay for, mate. So.
Mate, Just Eat.
I'll tell you what, actually, I've deleted Just Eat.
What you want now?
Actually, no,
Uber?
No, I did for a couple of times because I had like £10 joining vouchers, so we got Subway with them.
Nice.
But since then, haven't ordered a thing. And I couldn't tell you how much money I've saved because I can't see the money I've saved. I've just spent it elsewhere. Probably on Mackey's drive-thru, because now I can drive. I don't need Just Eat. I can just go and get it. So,
yeah. My wife started getting involved with HelloFresh at the moment as well, so we're being even lazier. They're delivering the whole meals to us, and we just literally have to cook them. I'm not going to lie, though. Some of the meals are really quite tasty. However, there was a sauce the other day that I didn't like. It was a truffle sauce. It was quite... blech. But my rest of my house kind of liked it. No, my two little boys didn't like it, but everybody else did. But here is the grid for race 2. John Brown on pole, Dan Lewis, Chris Barnes, Jake Corley, Kev Eilert, Alan McCain, Fraser Garrity, Derek Craver, Russell Fowler, Matt Elmore, Fraser Alexander, and then we've got Arthur Fertel behind that in 12th. Then Jono Johnson, Gary Craig, Dan Mould, Jess Rakowski, and Ryan Dudley bringing up the rear here. So Ryan Dudley bringing up the rear, unfortunately for him. Let's see what he's going to be able to do, but it will be John Brown leading us away here for race 2 before we get up and running for this amazing race. It's going to be incredible. Let's see how Garrity get on. Can Garrity stay in front of Crowther, though? That's going to be the question.
That will be it. I mean, again, he's got 19 points in pocket, so he can afford to just let him go. He just can't afford to be 19 points back, which, being AMS, no offence to them, I don't think they're going to have an issue with, because the points differences for sort of 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, etc. probably isn't going to give you a 19-point deficit, but we'll see in 20 minutes' time.
There we are. Here we go. 3, 4, 5. We are up and running for race 2. John Brown, Dan Lewis, Jay Corley, all are your current 1, 2, 3 going down into turn 1. You can see further back, they are 3 wide at the moment. Crowther almost with Chris Barnes, ended up off the side of the circuit. That definitely would have put his hopes done and dusted there as well, as they've made contact. Rakowski's off. At the back as well, Jess Rakowski there currently at the back with Chris Barnes, who is right at the back. So Crowther then nearly ended up off the side of the circuit. Who is that? 2, 3 back. I think that's Matt Elmore in the silver. No, it's not Matt Elmore on the 99 car currently. Yeah, it is Matt Elmore there on the in the silver liveried Hyundai. So he ended up with Crowther, and they nearly ended up going off track here. Gary Craig's made up 1 spot in 13th. He's ahead of Dan Mould. Ryan Dudley's up 2 ahead of Rakowski and Barnes, and then Dan Lewis is side by side with Alan McCain at the moment, going down into turn 1. McCain's on the inside. I think he's going to send it in late. He is. He's going to go on the brakes, and McCain's through as well. Not a bad start, but one incident here we can have a chat about, and this was here with Jess Rakowski going into turn 1 here as well. I don't think it was a major incident, but it was an incident regardless. Just ended up going basically a concertina effect, and rather slowly there as well. So all in all, good start for John Brown out in the win, out in front.
He's not won just yet, but yeah, he's got a good margin back to Jay Corley. Alan McCain about 1.5 seconds back, which is going to be a tough margin to close, so he's going to be hoping the top 2 start to battle ever so slightly. But John Brown, after doing a John Brown in race 1, would like to not do a John Brown in race 2, and John Brown would like to win. And that'd be great if he could. That's nearly into the pit lane, then back onto the circuit. That was Matt Elmore and Kev Ayler, I think. Now inside line for the grey. That is, of course, of Elmore. He goes to the left-hand side, very wide from Kev Ayler, and that is going to allow Arthur Thurtle to get the up and under as well.
Thurtle running on the left-hand side now, down in through turn 2. Dan Lewis has just been overtaken by Garrity, and Crowther settles in right behind him, decides to pick a fight that isn't there, so therefore he didn't pick it there either. So Dan Lewis now defending from Elmore, from Thurtle, from Johnson, from Eilert. Crowther up in the air. Brown's made it through as well, but he's under attack from Corley at the moment. Are we going to see Jay Corley's first win this season, if I'm not mistaken? And I think it's his first win for quite a while, if I'm honest, because I don't remember him winning last season either.
I can't remember so either. No, I don't think so. No, he's not got a win this season. Can't remember him winning last. Obviously, I was only here for 1 race last season, so what do I know? But no, he could definitely be within a shout. He's only half a second away from it. He just has to be really careful about Alan McCain, because Alan McCain is one of only 3 people, 4 people to take more than 1 victory this season. So yeah, he has to be very, very careful to not reel in the Hyundai.
Yeah, he didn't get a win in season 3. Is he going to get one in season? Let me have a look here as I'm scrolling through. No, he didn't get a win in season 4, season 5. He didn't get a win in 4, he didn't get a win in 5, and he hasn't won yet in 6. So this would be his first win here for Jay Corley for a couple of seasons. So this could be an interesting one for him if he can. Now he's trying the inside of John Brown. Their door rubbing on the side down. Corley in the silver, Brown in the SRL. Noticeable livery that we have noticed so much this season in the hands of Brown and Mould. Corley's going to have to send it in deep into turn 3. Whoa, no, 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 no. Oh, no. Well, that's going to bring in Alan McCain. And they're going to be side by side. No, McCain settles back in behind him, but that could have been bad for Corley.
Very. That was moments away from disaster, but he's managed to keep it pointing the right way, and just still in contention for the lead, albeit with a bit more pressure now. Stuck between a rock and a hard place, I'd say, for Jay Corley. He's got to look forward to attack, look backwards to defend, and also keep the car on track, which around Knockhill Reversed is easier said than done, let's put it that way. They tick off another lap, but yeah, Corley's got to be very careful. Here's Thurtle, though, carving his way through the field. Next up on the list is Matt Elmore.
Yeah, round the outside of Matt Elmore through turn 1, runs a little bit wide. That's going to allow Johnson to get the up and under as well. Johnson was close enough. Johnson's going to have the inside for free on that run round turn 2. Thurtle going on the attack, loses 1 position, unfortunately for him here. So not an ideal scenario. This has gone from the being on the attack over Matt Elmore to now trying to get past Jono Johnson. So that's going to be an interesting one. In the AMS currently, Derek Crowther sitting up here in 4th place is winning. Where is Fraser Garrity, and how did you end up down there? And this is how Garrity, oh, he's done a John Brown. He John Browned it.
I love the coin of it. It's great. However, yeah. Is he lost 19 points worth of positions, though, is the question.
Well, get on the maths, young Zachary, and find out where we're at. Where are we? As we find out where we're at on the moment. So Garrity's on 288, Crowther's on 269.
So 37 and 14th, 27. No, not enough. Nowhere near enough still.
Right, okay. Dan Mould's been off track as well, unfortunately. He is now out. Oh,
that's sideways.
Yeah, and then... Oh,
that's even more sideways.
Must have missed that. Yeah, Mould, and I believe that was Alexander. And unfortunately for Mould, that was it. That was him there as well. And then obviously came back on. Where's he going?
To the car park, I think.
Yeah, well, wherever he's going to be gone. Crowther's now got Elmore, Johnson and Thurtle closing him down here. Garrity's got to try and get up a few positions. Where are we in regards to points?
So Crowther in 4th, with Garrity in 14th, would bring the deficit to 9 points between the two of them. I've sort of counted Dudley out after the abysmal showing in race 1, meaning that the difference between 9th and 14th won't be enough to see him topple Garrity.
Dudley's only 14 points back from Garrity. 9
to 14 is 32 to 27, so only a 5-point deficit. So still nowhere near enough. Okay,
well, we're still not there at the moment then. It's still Crowther needs to get the victory. I've got a funny feeling he's either allowing him through here or he's got to slow down coming out of turn 9, but it looks like he's allowed him through. Thurtle and Johnson. Now Crowther's got Craig behind him as well. Now with this progressive scoring system, I'm surprised Crowther let them through.
Yeah, I'll be honest, but I don't think he really is too interested in the champ. I mean, obviously he's interested in the championship, but I don't really think that I think he knows there's not really much more that he can do. Even if Garrity was to drop behind Barnes, it still would be enough. He could drop all the way down to Garrity could finish last. Yeah, Garrity could finish last and still win the championship.
Right, okay.
So, okay. I think Crowther's just more focused on his race at this point.
Oh, I got a funny feeling Gary Craig did not know that what Crowther was doing there, because, if I'm not mistaken, have a look at Gary Craig's cockpit. Oh, he pulls in behind him, Crowther slows down, and Gary Craig then realising what Crowther's doing and goes round as well. That could have ended up in tears for both of them. But Alan McCain, Matt Elmore, Jono Johnson and Thurtle still fighting it out here with 11 minutes remaining.
You don't have to go at all. Really looking forward to seeing, obviously, how this race concludes, how the season ends. As sad as it is, it's always good to round things off on a high. That is off for Jay Corley.
Oh, Corley.
Has he John Browned it?
Should we have a look? Is that what we're presuming? He's John Browned it.
That looks like a John Brown. That looks like a John Brown.
He's already going there. Let's have a look again here. Over the bump, into,
John Browned it.
He John
exactly
Browned it.
The same as well. Oh, wow. Ouch. That's an 8 out of 10 on the John Brown scale.
Yeah, he John Browned it, unfortunately, there as well. And now Corley is going to be all the way down in 16th. I think he's going to be done. I think his steering's absolutely shot in that car, and he is sitting in the pit lane there as well. So Matt Elmore, Jono Johnson, Thurtle and Gary Craig fighting out. This is pretty much Gary Craig and also Garrity's championship. So it will be Fraser Garrity, I believe, who's going to take the win in the AMs, and Gary Craig will take it in the pros.
Oh, that is
a John.
Yeah, I was about to say it was half a John Brown.
Kev Eilert there, just Johned it. He didn't quite John Brown it, but he just Johned it. So unfortunately for him, he's just Johned it there as well and nearly caused himself some issue. Jono Johnson and Thurtle still scrapping it out side by side here. Alexander's passed Eilert after Eilert's little bit of a John. But now Thurtle and Johnson fighting it out. Elmore and Thurtle's also got Gary Craig for company as they're on that run down into turn 3. 9.5 minutes here as well. We've got about another 16 laps, give or take. I think we ended up on 28 last time, didn't we, if I'm not mistaken?
24, wasn't it?
24?
Yeah.
Okay, 24. So we've got 12 laps to go of this circuit in 9.5 minutes. So a stellar job from these guys once more. I hope you've enjoyed this season's racing. This is the last one from the SRL here as well before we say goodbye to SRL. But we are moving it over onto the JPB League's Discord as well. So it will be under the JPB banner of TCR's joining GT3s and GT4s. So get yourselves involved down in the Discord link below, because that would be absolutely amazing. Right, up and running, 9 minutes to go here, Zach, and we've got Johnson, Thurtle fighting out down into turn 3.
We do. They're side by side. Thurtle obviously in the blue machine. He worked his way to the inside, and it is being hard fought from Jono Johnson, who has also got Gary Craig for company as they work their way down the hill. Jono Johnson's being very careful not to John Brown it. All of them are, of course. That does help to keep it on the track. But yeah, good stuff from Arthur Thurtle. He's made his way up 8 places, same two as Johnson, same two as Gary Craig. The biggest gainer is Ryan Dudley up 9. So yeah, some big gainers despite the fact that we predicted track position would be really important. However, Johnson under a bit of pressure. Is Gary Craig going to go for a move? Stays tucked up for quite a while, pulls out to the left. Johnson has it covered though, aiming himself for the apex. A good way to cover off the inside.
Yeah, Rakowski and Fowler and Alexander battling it out further down here. Rakowski in the Audi, Fowler in the Honda and Alexander in the Hyundai. It's an free manufacturer race going down through turn 2, and Rakowski and Fowler fighting it out here. Is Fowler going to allow it through? Rakowski's gone in. Well, that was an interesting way of taking turn 3.
That's one way to do it. And
I'm not quite sure
Rakowski,
that was her way, to be honest.
Probably wasn't the quickest way.
No.
But it was a way. So we'll leave it at that, I think. It's probably the best way to go about things. I think she's recomposed herself, though. Just have to be careful, because don't want her to lose composure and John Brown it.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing that either here this evening. So let's see how this one finishes up with 7.5 minutes to go. We've still got that Thurtle-Elmore battle up in 3rd and 4th place respectively here. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Thurtle past Johnson, Jono past Thurtle, Thurtle past Jono, and then Thurtle got through and has gone past Jono Johnson. Gary Craig back there as well, but Matt Elmore hanging on to that 3rd place. Gary Craig in 6th. He's already champion and doesn't really need to jeopardise anymore. Neither does this man down in the AMs. He's driving around all on his own here. Is Garrity, and he's got a very lonely race in that Honda, but he's doing an absolute stellar job and will win the championship. What about Crowther and also Dudley? They're going side by side down into turn 1. Dudley's trying to run around the outside at a very poor race one. This will determine where they end up for 2nd place at the moment, and this is the fight that they can't, each one can't afford to lose, because obviously for Crowther's point of view, he's behind Dudley. Dudley should hang on to this 2nd place, and currently where they are at the moment with 8th, 7th and 8th, Dudley's going to be on 34, Crowther's going to be on 33. So from Crowther's point of view, he either needs Dudley to have an incident or get past him, and Dudley's still got to have an incident really, because technically Dudley's still going to have 2nd place.
Yeah, in the next 5 minutes, Crowther is living on a prayer, really, with how things are going. I think obviously they are going to fight it out to the end because battle for pride and things like that. That's why we see Dudley go defensive, inside or outside. Crowther goes to the left-hand side of your shot. That's the right-hand side of the circuit. It's the outside of turn 1, and it's not the way Crowther would want to find a way through. However, saying that, Dudley has taken a nice tight line off the exit, and that has allowed Crowther to get side by side with him once again through 2 into 3. The inside line will be the way of Ryan Dudley. Are they going to go side by side down the hill? I think they are. Brilliant stuff between the pair of them, and Crowther actually gets the position.
Yeah, he does. Slips up the round the outside there on turn 3, through 4 and 5. Into 6 they go, into 7, and Crowther is still leading Dudley here for first place in the AMS at the moment. As I say, it doesn't really matter for Crowther. He will cement that 3rd place. Dudley will cement that 2nd place due to the fact that obviously Crowther is 5 points back at the moment, and there's only 1 point difference between them. So yeah, no real matter for these guys. They're just fighting out for who is pride, really, I think is the word I'm looking for. Here as well, as we go back up front with Elmore and Fertile and Johnson and Craig, who are very close together once more. Dudley's just cleared Crowther. Crowther's looking at probably coming back again as well, so we've kind of just gone off them as they started making moves. But Fertile's Superman in it there as well, around turn 7.
Yeah, so we've got Superman John Brown, which is great. Nice. I love the fact we're calling all of these terms. And now he's going to try and do a super move to the inside, potentially, of Matt Elmore. This will, of course, be for the podium. Pulls out to the left-hand side. Tight line, of course. He's got to be brave on the brakes to make this one stick. Elmore gives him just a bit of space. He pushes out to the extremities of the circuit. Obviously, front-wheel drive cars naturally prone to understeer. And now they're side-by-side. Through 2 into 3. Oh, that was not quite got the overlap, so Elmore was able to pull over to the left and defend, cover off the inside. But what we've got is Elmore, Thurtle, Johnson, Craig in a 4-car train here for 3rd place, and if they catch up to Alan McCain, it could be 5-4 for 2nd.
Oh, Crowther almost looked like he might have got a lifeline here. Oh, Dudley's off the side of the circuit. Crowther does make it through. Oh, that was lucky for Dudley. He could have ended up just going straight through the pit lane there. That would have been disastrous for him. But Elmore, Fertile, Johnson, Craig still battling out on that run down into turn 1. 3 minutes on the clock. Johnson's going to be heavy on the brakes. Johnson literally was heavy on the brakes there to try and not hit Fertile, bit from the behind, and he does end up not making contact and settling back into that 5th position overall here. But that was heavy braking from Johnson there to try and stop that car.
It was. You've got to be very strong left-footed in order to get that stopped. We all have those moments where we just panic, close our eyes and hope that the car stops, but no harm, no foul, I think, in that regard. Final 3 minutes of the race, final 3 minutes of the season with the racing action here at Knockhill reversed. However you want to pronounce Knockhill, spelled backwards, don't ask me. However, on the back of Johnson is Gary Craig, the soon to be crowned champion of the pros. He pulls out to the right hand side, 2 wide, 2 deep into turn number 1. Thurtle and Elmore go side by side. The blue machine of Thurtle goes the long way round. It's then the yellow and black of Craig trying to do it on Johnson. The focus though is that forefront fight for 3rd. Elmore, Thurtle side by side. It's roles reversed on the lap previous because this time Thurtle has got the long way round to do it through at turn 3. Just about throws the needle through.
Oh, blimey. From Arthur Fertle's point of view, that was very, very close with Elmore and Johnson and Craig there. There was almost like a accordion effect. Is that the right word?
An accordion.
Accordion effect. There we go.
Not a harcordion.
Yeah,
no,
that was the one.
Harmonica accordion.
Yeah, I was mixing them up. Accordion effect. But Dudley Crowther... Dudley Crowther still fighting out for leading the AMS. Dudley got past Crowther, Crowther got past Dudley, and Dudley has cleared Crowther once more. So they've swapped positions about 3 times over the last lap or so. So a stellar job from these guys. They're keeping it clean and doing an absolutely amazing job here. But Dudley does look like he's opened up a little bit of a gap now, over half a second of Crowther. Johnson's not got half a second at this moment in time, and he's still battling with Gary Craig, who runs it over the sausage curb around turn 3. Going through 4, the left-hander, then the right-hander, 5 as well. No John Browns from these four as they bounce up through turn 7 and then off up the hill into 8 there as well. There's somebody off the side of the circuit, that's Chris Barnes. Unfortunately for him, we are going to start the final lap of the race. John Brown will start the final lap. Do you know what? This is very fitting at the moment, right? Because of the 2 admins have won both races. Dan
And
Mould,
finished last.
yeah, they've done that as well. But have they really? Did John Brown finish last?
John
in
Brown
race?
was last. And
So-
then Mould was last in race 2, and then the other one won it. So they've sandwiched the field.
so bizarre.
They've given it a big hug.
They have. Brown last in race 1, winning race 2. Mould winning race 1, last in race 2. So the 2 organisers that have done an absolutely stellar job with SRL. They've been absolutely amazing and they deserve the break that they're taking now. But it is going to be John Brown taking the victory here as well. Alan McCain hangs on to second with Arthur Fertel in third there as well. So a stellar job from all of these guys. In the AM fight, it was Dudley that come over the line in front of Crowber. So Ryan Dudley there as well. Russell Fowler should take the final position. He does and goes into third. So Russell Fowler's had a good night with a first and a third. Crowber's had 2 seconds here and as well. And then Garrity, who will be crowned champion. Oh, he's out already. Gary, who will be champion there, and Gary Craig, who is also the pro champion. So well done to him. Gary Craig and Fraser Garrity are your champions this season. So there you go. Absolutely stellar job there once more. The silence as James contemplated if he really needed me in JPB. When did I say that?
You didn't. That's the point. You were silent, James. You didn't say anything. Like that. Well done.
What was that in relation to?
There was me saying we all have those moments and you just stayed quiet for 10 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Almost as if you were just dead staring at me. It was great.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Jamie Dengle's got it right. Not long after what you said, though, to be fair. Right, Gary Craig, you're not going to be able to get donuts done, I don't believe. John Brown is your winner. Alan McCain in second. Arthur Fertel third. Gary Craig, your pro champion in fourth. Jono Johnson fifth. Matt Elmore in sixth. Ryan Dudley seventh. Derek Crowther eighth. Russell Fowler ninth. Fraser Garrity, the AM champion. Fraser Alexander, Jess Rakowski, Kev Eilert, Chris Barnes, Jay Corley, Dan Lewis and Dan Mould there. I must be his second favourite, says Jamie Dengle. I'm not denying that fact, Jamie. I'm not going to lie. Right. So here are, let's start off first here as well with Gary Craig, who is the going to be the current champion once more. So Gary Craig, who is your pro champion for this season as well, done an excellent stellar job, did what he needed to do, and Gary Craig, congratulations.
Thanks very much, guys. That was a tough night. just try and stay clean.
I think that was the thing for you, wasn't it? You just had to stay clean to romp away with it, really.
Yeah, I mean, I had a similar pace last season. I just got really unlucky in race 2s, whereas this season I had good race 2s and good luck. Like tonight, I think I gained 4 spots in one corner in that second race by threading the needle. Like the sea just parted in front of me like Moses there. So I've had a bit more luck and that really helped. And yeah, it was just about keeping it clean tonight.
Yeah, it definitely was, and you've done it, basically. You did what you had to do, to be honest. We didn't really expect you to do anything different. I didn't know if you were going to push for the win over Dan Mould or not, but at the end of the day, you did what you needed to do, an absolutely stellar job. You've enjoyed your final, it's the final season in the SRL this season.
Yeah, it's great. I've only done the last 2, but yeah, it's been really good group of guys, lots of really close racing. It's been, again, it's great when there's a bunch of guys that are close together, but you've got a good spread of pace. So there's not been the kind of anyone that's madly broken away. There's always been somebody to fight with for everyone. So it's been really good for that. So let's hope it continues for the guys next season.
Yeah, it definitely does as well. Are we going to see you next season?
Don't know, because it's changing to every week, I think, and that doesn't really work for me when I was trying to have a bit of a break in the summer. So I might have a season off, but then again, I might decide that I want to try and defend the championship, because I know it's you guys are running it now, but it's I think in essence it will still be the same kind of championship. So
Yeah.
I'll have to decide whether I want to come back and defend or whether I want to have a bit of a break and come back in the winter.
Okay, mate. Well, it's been a pleasure having you this season, and well done on your Pro Championship. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, absolutely. All the guys who've made SRL Leagues work for as long as they've been putting them on. It's sad to see them stop, but it's good to see them continue at the same time. So, big shout out to Dan and to John and to everyone else who's been involved in running them. And good luck to you guys for running it in the future and for doing the broadcast. It's been really good. And again, just to everyone who's raced in the season, it's been really good fun. Some good battles.
Awesome, Gary. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and possibly we might see you next season, but hopefully, if not, we'll see you in the winter.
Yes, thanks, guys.
Take care. Right, let's have a chat here with Alan McCain, who finished second in race 2. Good evening, Mr. McCain. How are you?
Evening, James.
Hello, mate. How are you?
I'm pretty good, yeah. Not too bad.
Not a bad shabby race 2.
No, that was pretty well up there. I was happy enough to keep Arthur and Gary and all them guys behind me, so I done what I needed to do and finish in front of them.
And that, dear sir, is what it's all about, isn't it, at the end of the day? Have you enjoyed your season, Alan?
Well, yes, but no. I've had a lot of bad luck. I just put it down to lack of practice, but it's been a good, well-run league. I can't complain about it, and I would like to thank John and yourself for broadcasting it, and John and Dan for organising it, and all the other drivers that's in it.
Awesome stuff. Well, Alan, that wraps it up for me. No need for me to ask if you want to give a shout out to anybody. You've just done it, but stellar job, and hopefully we might see you back on track next season.
Hopefully.
Okay, mate. Well, enjoy yourself, Alan. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure talking to you, as it always is, and look forward to having a chat with you in the future.
Cheers, James. See you
Take
again.
care. Bye. All right, let's have a chat with Mr. Arthur Ferdle here this evening as well. He has done an absolutely stellar job once more. Good evening, Mr. Turtle. How are you?
Good evening. I'm okay, thank you. How are you?
Wonderful. I've watched some epic racing as always. I'm definitely happy. How's things with you going? I haven't spoken to you for a while.
Yeah, it's been a little while, hasn't it? I've missed a few races in SRL, and then I've missed the GT4 one as well. But it's the last SRL race. I couldn't miss it, could I?
No, definitely not there as well. And I know Mr. Dengle did say about you look like you're struggling a little bit this evening. Maybe you've been playing tennis too much, young sir.
Well, I've played tennis every night this week so far, but that's just TCRs. I just struggle with TCRs.
You don't normally come across in that way.
Yeah, I could normally be like top 5, but it's not like in like the GR86 and GT4s and stuff. I'm not at the same level in this as I am in them.
Right, okay, mate. So where does that leave you for next season? Are we going to see you in the TCR League next season?
Oh, we'll see. I'm still debating it. I kind of feel like I want to have a break, but at the same time, the Friday night league at 9:30 start is just such a convenient time. So we'll see. We'll see. I know that I wouldn't be winning it, and it'll be highly competitive. But if there was someone that was able to win it and wanted a good solid number 2 driver, I'd I've proven myself in another league which you wouldn't have seen that as a number 2 driver, and it was great.
Oh, okay, mate. Well, buddy, it's been a pleasure as always, and I'm sure I'll speak to you next week. But anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
The whole SRL community, because SRL is family, and if it wasn't for SRL, I wouldn't be the driver I am now. It was about 18 months ago that I met Dan Mould, and he said, "Oh no, we've got this league thing," and it was a GT4 league, the first GT4 league. And I was really nervous, and I was quite shy, and I didn't know if I was going to be any good or not, or anything like that. And yeah, that was 18 months ago, and it's just, it gave me so much confidence. It's improved me as a driver. I would never have done the other leagues that I've done if it wasn't for SRL. So yeah, I think I owe quite a bit to SRL really, and it's going to remain as a community, and I'll quite happily represent SRL in anything they want me to.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that one. Arthur, it's been a pleasure this season, as it always is talking to you. Am I going to see you on Wednesday night, young sir?
Yeah, you'll see me on Wednesday.
All right, mate. Well, maybe I'll have a chat with you then. Take care, bud.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye. Right, now I do have saved this gentleman the best till last. The man who finishes in last in first in race 1. He goes out and wins race 2. Dan Mould finishes race 1 with a win and goes out of race 2 in last place. So it's only fitting that the two admins, the two organisers, the two birth parents of the SRL win the final 2 races as well. And that, John, is amazing. Welcome in, bud.
Thank you very much, James. We couldn't have planned that better, could we?
No, it was so ironic.
Oh, man. Well, I made a terrible mistake. Well, I just caught the curb just really bad on that chicane in the first race, and you know what Knockhill's like. One little mistake and that's it, race over. It'll spit you off into the dirt and smash your car up as it's going.
Yeah,
so,
well, you did coin the name after that. It was a John Brown. So there was I used a little sheet that write thing down because I can't remember everything that goes on, John. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
And about 3 drivers have got John Brown next to them, so I know what they did in turn 5. The same as you.
Well, I'll be in next season as well. I believe Knockhill's in that. So.
Yeah, we're not on the reverse though, so that's the best thing. No, I don't think.
Reverse. Yeah, I don't mind it the other way. Yeah, the exits are a bit nicer and the curbs seem a little friendlier. So
yeah, this seems a little bit of a bizarre way of doing it. I couldn't quite wrap my head around it, to be honest.
This was Dan's choice. This one.
Is it?
Yeah, so I can't. Yeah. Oh well. Hope everybody had fun. A whole bunch of races, bunch of good guys racing. It's been a great season. Been a great 6 seasons of TCR. So thanks to everybody who's taken part in all those seasons and all the GT4 and the GR86. But I hand you the torch, James.
Yes, it is coming over. I'm sure we will try and do you proud, John.
Yep, I will be there.
I'm sure you will as well, and I am looking forward to it once more. It's been an absolute pleasure, John. It's been amazing being with you and Dan and chatting and everything else. So, thank you for obviously bringing us on board the first time as well, and it's been an absolute pleasure as well. But now you get a nice, well-deserved break.
I get to relax. I get someone else to do the stress now. It's going to be nice. I just get to turn up and pay.
Well, that's the best way about it, John. So amazing as always there, bud. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for bringing us in, and it's been a pleasure.
Cheers very much. And thank you, Zach, if you're there.
Cheers.
It's been great listening to you both.
Awesome. Take care, John.
See you, mate.
Right, there is one more interview that did jump in. He jumped in very late here, did Mr. Fraser Garrity as well. I was saving John till last, but I can't not talk to the AM champion of this season, can I really? So I've had to bring in Fraser Garrity into the booth. Good evening, sir. How are you?
I didn't know I won.
How did you? What do you mean nobody? We got it written down on a piece of paper, Fraser. We were doing maths and commentating. You should have been able to do maths and drive around a track backwards, shouldn't you?
Not in VR.
Oh, okay.
I'll see what I'm scribbling down, can I?
No, all right. Well, you did take the win in the end here as well. And saying that, I've just closed the points off, so I can't even tell you how much you won by. But you did win. I think it was about, Zach, help me out.
19 points? No, that was after race 1, and then race 2. I don't know.
Oh, Zach,
you won. You won. What does it matter? 1 point, 100 points. You won. Who cares?
It ain't the point, is it? You know what I mean?
Well, it is the point. That's how championships work, James.
God, right. You're on 31. Hold on, Fraser. Give me 8, 9, 10, 11. there as well. So you were on 319 here with Ryan Dudley, who finished 7th. He gains 34, 8, 10, 308 for Dudley, who was in second. So by 11 points.
Oh, it's not too bad then, is it? Still a close championship.
Yeah, it was good. You know what I mean? You, at the end of the day, you did an absolutely stellar job. So, you know, it doesn't matter if it was 19, 1 or 50. You've still taken the championship.
Yeah, we'll just ignore the performance of race 2. That was a bit... we won't talk about that.
Well, yeah. I don't know, you know. Do we need to have a chat about it?
Just a sausage curb was a bit high, that was all. And Civic doesn't like sausage curbs.
Yeah, you kind of put it down that you John Browned it, basically. Because you did exactly...
Are you on about with me and Kev?
No, I'm on about you taking a trip over the sausage curb out of turn 5.
I just thought, put a bit of show on.
Of course you did.
Bang.
Yeah, he did literally go out of a bang as well, nose deep into the barrier. So look, Fraser, a pleasure here to tell you that you are the AM champion by 11 points over Dudley and 17 points over Crowther.
That's all right, isn't it? I'll take that.
Yeah, you definitely should do this as well. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Obviously, yourself, all the SRL boys, it's just been a laugh week in, week out. There's banter, there's racing. It's just been great.
Yeah, absolutely. Stellar job. Well, Fraser, thank you so much for joining us, bud, and we'll look forward to hopefully seeing you next season, will we?
I'll be brutally honest, James. No, I'm retiring from today.
Oh, no.
What do you mean retiring?
I am losing my office to become a nursery, so...
Oh!
Right, start them young, put the sim rig in there.
It's too big.
Baby on the way?
They can sleep.
Baby on the way.
Oh, mate.
Priorities.
So I've gone out with style. That's what I'm going to take.
So what you do? So you're not doing any sim racing?
Until I can find somewhere for the rig now.
Have you got a garden?
Yeah,
you got a garden, put a gazebo up.
Yeah, well, you might live in a flat. You might not have one. Do you have a garden?
I do.
Put it in the shed.
Well, I need a garage that needs converting, James, if you want to chip in.
Mate, you give me a shout. Where have I got to head to?
Come to Wolverhampton, we can sort it out.
Oh, blimey, that's a bit far. Sorry, mate. It's a little bit far for me, but I'm sorry. You know, driving all that way from Somerset, it will take me a good few hours.
Oh, well, it'll be worth it, then.
I suppose if it means I get to see you on track, sir, it'd definitely be worth it. But, you know, look.
Yeah, I'll be back at some point.
I'm sure you will, mate. But look, anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Just the SRL boys, yourselves, for doing the commentating. It's just been great.
All right, mate. Well, you take care, and hopefully I'll speak to you soon. But enjoy your brief moments of retirement, and good luck with the baby.
No, it's cheers, James. Thank you.
Take care, mate. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, no more Fraser Gary.
But we get Fraser Gary Jr.
We do. This is also true. It doesn't mean we will see Fraser Garrity Jr.
Not yet.
No, but hopefully.
Start him young, get him up, boom.
Yeah. Well, any final words from you, young sir?
Just that it's been a really good season. Talking to you, obviously, before the broadcast about how it's been since the 14th of April that we did our little fun race at Alton Park. And that was a long time ago. It feels like a long time ago, over 3 months ago. But it's gone thick and fast. It's been every 2 weeks, six races since the start in Hockenheim all the way back on the 12th of May, I think, or something like that. So a long time ago, but it's been a really good season. Really nice to see how things develop and things. And looking good for the future. It seems that, you know, these guys are in safe hands.
No, definitely are. Right, guys, that is it. That brings us to the final SRL broadcast ever here as well on the SRL YouTube channel. It will be going over to JPB next season starting on the 4th of April. So there will still be a TCR League. If you want to get yourself involved, go down into the JPB Leagues Discord. They're down in the description below on both channels. Get yourselves involved. Come and join in, or go over to www.jpbroadcasting.com/TCR-League, and you will find all the details of the 6-race calendar that we're going to be doing first, starting on the 4th of August. But that's it, guys, as well. Massive shout out to Dan Mould. Massive shout out to John Brown. They've been absolutely stellar. It's been a pleasure working with them both as well. So I've got to say, just much love to both of them guys here as well. So thank you so much to them. Thank you so much to everybody that's joined us. As always, Phil and everybody else, Jamie Dangle for joining us as well. And yes, Ryan Dudley was second. So it's been a pleasure, guys, as well. But for the final time, from myself and Zach Sweeney up in the booth, take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track next season. Good night.